Sides Now, featuring the unconventional duo, Dr. Shirley and medium Kelly White. Two perspectives, one world. This is Both Sides Now.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm Dr. Shirley.
And I'm medium Kelly White.
And we started our show again. We're
Yay.
so excited. I know,
It's great. It feels great to be back.
Yeah, we're in a completely new home, and we are loving it. Right?
Yes.
You like our new home?
Love it.
Yes. So for those of you who don't know who we are, I'm Dr. Shirley. I'm a psychologist in private practice, and I primarily work in the area of trauma.
And I'm a spiritual medium, and I'm also a psychotherapist, and I work with trauma also. I happen to specialize in suicide on both sides.
On both sides, exactly.
Yeah.
And she's in an office right next to mine, and the craziest stuff happens.
Oh, it does. And we have so much fun,
I know, we do. We
Yeah.
do. So today before we even get into anything,
Yeah.
what are the planets and what's the energy doing?
Well, and I thought we should always start
Please let us
this
know.
show like this. I thought what I would do is talk about last week's full moon lunar eclipse, the blood wolf moon.
Yeah, the blood wolf moon. That was powerful.
It was extremely powerful.
Yeah, and it was beautiful. I'm sure you guys got a chance to see it. I mean, it was
stunning.
It was literally red. I mean, it was amazing.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And what was so important about that is this whole week people have asked me, I'm anxious, Kelly. Why am I so anxious?
Yeah.
I'm so anxious. And so I thought we would just touch upon that, the effects of that eclipse, actually.
Yeah.
That eclipse brings serious change to everybody. And I think the anxiety that people are feeling currently is they know something is going up, but what is going on? They may not know exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you it's a lot of things going on. During this period, and for this whole year, really, and in the next several months, you're going to see all kinds of change. You're going to see deaths. You're going to see a lot of babies being born. You're going to see people are going to move. People are going to change relationships.
Now, when you say death, does it mean the end of something or an actual passing on of a human, or both?
I meant actual death.
Okay.
Yeah, although there's no such thing. But I meant as people would be leaving this dimension and going back to the other side where they came from.
Okay, and how long is this period?
It's going to be for the year, really. It affects the year. I think it gets easier about April. It starts to get a little easier because people will have figured out the road. People get anxious when they don't know their road, the road that they're on. They get really anxious.
The brain needs to prepare.
Mm-hmm.
Brain is an anticipatory organ, so it needs to kind of prepare to be able to stay safe. I mean, that's what the brain is designed to do, is to keep us alive.
And as an empath, and all you empaths out there, and HSP people, you may be feeling a little shaky, a little not grounded right now.
Yeah.
Because you may not know where is this change coming from. And I really invite everybody to have a real honest dialogue with themselves about what changes do they want to see. Some you will have some choices in, and others you may not have any choices.
Well, but that helps even to calm the brain to know, okay, this is what it does feel right now.
Right.
It's kind of shaky and it's kind of unknown, and can I be okay with the unknown in this moment?
Absolutely. And this is all about letting go of anything in the past. Letting go. Let's say you had a bad relationship. Hello, who hasn't? Let it go now. It's okay to let go and to move on. We come to this planet for one reason, and that's to learn. What did you learn? Okay, you learned this and this and this. Great. Let's go on to the next thing.
I happen to remember vaguely my daughter showing me a song. Who's that girl? She's a very good singer, and she actually sings about moving on. Like,
I love it.
Goodbye. One of our listeners will know that's more hipper than me.
Oh, and please meet Barry Manilow. Yeah. Still a Fanilow.
Oh, he's so beautiful. Ariana Grande.
Oh, I love her.
Has a song about kind of saying, okay, I learned. It's a beautiful song, actually. The words are great. It's about, okay, I learned what you learned, with that relationship, and
next, keep going.
Exactly,
keep going.
Which is not that easy. It's certainly easier said than done. However, there are some beautiful guided meditations. Find a therapist that can help you.
Can help you move on.
To move, to heal the wounds and move on, because that is the most important thing, is to be able to move forward in life.
And really, this is true. When that door shuts, okay, it's shut for a reason. Now, you all planned very well before you incarnated. Now the next thing is to look for the next door that opens up.
Yeah.
And that's really what happens.
And I have to tell you, I mean, we should never use always and never, but almost always, and I'd say always, when people come in to see me because they've had a extremely traumatic experience with either, you know, a relationship or even a boss or something like that, it brings up, a lot of times that brings them into therapy. And then once they heal those wounds, which of course are correlated or connected with childhood wounds, and we heal that and they're actually beginning to live up to their potential, I always say as a joke, you know, we're going to send a metaphorically thank you note to the asshole who, you know, or the person who, you know, caused so much havoc in your life that brought you in here, because it really is a way to
absolutely, it's a great way to view it, actually, because really what happens is that bad boss or that bad husband or girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever it happens to be, they will have taught you, they take incarnation actually almost to be that person to you, really. And so then it makes you go, wait a minute, I want to think more about myself than somebody else. Not in a narcissistic way, but really learn to take care of your needs. What do you like? How do you like your eggs? I mean, as opposed to thinking about somebody else all the time. Because you come in as a soul to have your own life purpose too. It's not just about being around others and taking care of others and all of that. You also have a life purpose. So this is a year that people will get more in tuned and in line with their life purpose. That's what those eclipses do, and that's the big one we just had.
Wow, okay.
Yes.
Well, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I mean, that's good for me to know, too.
You know, it's funny, and as a segue into our topic today, which is passive-aggressive, often I will have clients that come in and they think it's something the matter with them. And as you hear their story, it's really the people around them often.
Well, I have to say, I'm glad that you say that, because anytime you, when in dealing with someone, when you think, is it me? Because you're having kind of a strong reaction to it, you may be working with someone, you may be engaging with someone who may have a personality disorder. In this case, we're going to talk about passive-aggressiveness.
Which doesn't necessarily mean personality disorder. It doesn't necessarily mean they're evil. It doesn't necessarily mean any of that.
It's not.
They're just unconscious.
Very much so. Very unconscious. And it's not, passive-aggressiveness isn't, it's not really a personality disorder in our diagnostic manual, but it's kind of like I don't know how they put it in the book, where it's kind of sort of, but we're not really going to call it a personality disorder.
It's crazy making. Actually,
that's exactly what it is. So the diagnostic manual should be renamed to crazy making behavior.
Yeah, crazy making behavior.
Because it is, and we don't say that, we don't even say that lightly, because it could cause you to start to question yourself, which is one of the bigger problems with that.
Well, why don't we define what it is?
Yeah. Well, and a shout out to our wonderful listener, Lynn.
Hi, Lynn.
Friend of the program. She's the one that brought this up on my Dr. Shirley Pellizzeri Facebook page, and she asked me about passive-aggressive behavior. And it's basically when someone acts in a hostile way, but it's kind of sugar-coated.
Inauthentic.
Yeah, it's inauthentic behavior, which is why the recipient of it feels so much about it, has an intense reaction, because it does feel inauthentic, but you can't sometimes quite put your finger on it.
Yeah.
It's basically people who aren't comfortable feeling anger. And we're going to do a show on anger, because anger is not a four-letter word. It is an emotion that is a very healthy emotion to feel. It's how we react or how we behave when we feel anger that many times gets us into trouble, and how we observe people behaving with anger like as little kids, that sometimes makes us very afraid to feel the emotion of anger.
And passive-aggressive behavior often can come from somebody who was in a family where they weren't allowed to express themselves.
Exactly.
And if you don't express, it will be expressed somewhere else, actually.
Oh, yeah, because emotions don't disappear. They're energy, and they stay with us, and we can shove them down as far as they can possibly go, but they're still there. So eventually they may create havoc in our physical systems. You know, a lot of physical ailments are associated to unresolved wounds, and many times unresolved anger. So it's a really important emotion to start to become acquainted with if you're not. and understand why maybe you're so afraid of it, as you said.
Oh,
It
absolutely.
could be that, you had a very angry parent, and so you're like, oh, God, no, I don't want to feel that.
Well, a big one is when that silent treatment. Everybody knows the silent treatment. It's the worst, and
It's the
especially as an empath,
And
it's
it
the
brings
worst.
up so much anger to the
Oh, yeah.
recipient of it,
Yeah.
but then you can't express it because then it's worse. It's also for people who have a hard time with confrontation, because maybe
Mm-hmm.
when they tried to express being unhappy about something, even as a kid, they would get lambasted. And
Right.
so they learned, oh, I cannot, I don't like confrontation, it's too dangerous, it's too scary.
Right.
How-
And some samples of that would be like somebody who shows up late all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Now, there's a lot of traffic in LA, and we get that, but that excuse even gets tiring.
Yeah, that's
After a
true.
while.
Because you can, if you really tried hard enough, you could, show up early, or a coworker that tells you the wrong time for a meeting, and
Oh.
then says, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry, I didn't know."
Right. Now, that's almost a personality disorder. Well, somebody that sets you up
But,
for sabotage.
Well, it does,
Yeah.
and it could be passive aggressive too. It's the
It's
person
an extreme of it, but
who
yeah.
says I'm going to plan. Oh, let me plan your birthday party. I can't wait, and then they forget to send the
Yes.
invitations, or they bake you a chocolate cake when they know you hate chocolate cake, and then it's, oh, I'm so sorry, and so then.
Right.
You have a strong reaction against it,
Right.
but if you react strongly, they're saying, "I'm so sorry.
I'm
You
such a
look
good person. I didn't do that.
and you look like the idiot for reacting as strongly." So
Right.
it's it's being angry without seeming angry. It's masked feelings. It's saying something mean and ending it with a huge LOL.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, right?
Yeah, that's a good
When
one.
people do that, where they kind of stick it to you, but then LOL, I was just kidding.
Right. Oh, yeah, I was just kidding. That's a big one. And we empaths don't like that because
Oh,
we
my-
know there's no such thing. You're not just kidding.
Exactly, especially if it's a hostile,
Right.
procrastination, avoidance, feigned forgetfulness. And what I do want to say is the person who is being passive aggressive isn't always aware of it. When you said the word unconscious, that's very real. It's not like they're planning, oh, I'm going to do this to really piss that person off. Sometimes they're completely unconscious. They really don't get it.
It's really the way they were taught as youngsters to behave, actually. They
Right.
would have witnessed the mother, father doing it. Somebody's doing it.
Somebody's doing it, or
Yeah.
they're just not in touch with their anger because they can't be. It was too dangerous, or it felt too scary.
And it's difficult. You can confront them, I would say, like non-belligerent confrontation instead of, hey, you fucker, what are you doing? You can't really do that.
Whoa, you
Yeah.
dropped an F-bomb.
Are you allowed to do that here? I don't know. We're in a
No,
new
we should
place.
ask.
I'm sorry. But I really meant that. But,
I know you
or
did.
you can say, instead, I guess the best way would be is if they're always late, is there anything I can do to help you be earlier? Or is there, you can kind of start off by asking questions in a really non-belligerent way, non-confrontational, but in a way that they could possibly hear it. Sometimes they can, sometimes they can't.
Well, that's what when I'm confronted with someone who's passive aggressive, or the way that I teach to work with passive aggressive behavior is to become Stuart Smalley. And if you don't know who that is, it's just a wonderful character from Saturday Night Live. Who was it? Al Franken, or wonderful Al Franken. Look him up on YouTube. So he was just very kind of purposeful and very exaggerated in the way he talked. But I say become Stuart Smalley. So if someone shows up late, or if someone, it'd say, I wonder if you might be angry at me.
You can do that.
Put it out there.
Right.
Even if the person says, no, not at all. You've planted the seed. So maybe they can start, exploring or being curious about their own behavior. What I love is kind of can fall under also sarcasm, which I cannot stand. There's always hostility under sarcasm. So, when someone says, no, don't get up. I'll take the groceries in. Like in a sarcastic way. It's like, oh, I didn't realize it.
Right.
I'll help you. No, that's okay. Well, it's not okay because they made a sarcastic. So I would say, I'd rather you just be honest and say, hey, can you please help me with the groceries?
Absolutely. You find a lot of this in relationships, husband, wife. You see a lot of that, of passive aggressiveness in there.
Yeah, and
it's not one of the four horsemen, I don't think, but it's up there.
It kind of goes with contempt. Which
It
is
goes
kind
with contempt. And one of the things that you really have to do is you've got to trust your instincts. And I'm talking to the empaths out there, and everybody actually out there. But trust your instincts. If you're feeling something's off, it is off.
Yeah.
And then also start to recognize the pattern.
Absolutely, because
Right?
there is a pattern.
There's a
with
pattern
that,
to
yeah.
it. There's a pattern to it.
And when the person, if this is someone that's a spouse or someone or a friend or that you can have honest communications with, when they start being honest with them, make sure that you make it a safe environment for them to be honest, because that is what they fear the most, whether it's conscious or unconscious.
Right.
And so when they express anger at something, of course, if they're being hurtful or inappropriate, you can set a boundary, but make sure that you don't react to it, because then it's not going to be a safe environment. It's going to kind of be like a turtle where they're going to go right back into their shell.
All right. And here's another one. Here's a big tip. Don't personalize it.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah.
And you're really good at that.
Yes,
But
I
as an
am, thank
empath,
God.
you have to really separate yourself from that.
Yeah, you do.
You have to teach yourself that it doesn't really matter.
Well, even if you did something that might have been hurtful, their passive-aggressive behavior, their inability to be honest and authentic with how they feel about it is not your issue. That's the
Right.
piece.
That's the piece.
To not personalize.
Right.
But talk a little bit more about, as an empath, and why, like Lynn had asked me, why is it that an empath feels it so strongly?
Oh, gosh. We feel everything. So we feel, as soon as the person walks in, or before they walk in, we already know what the feeling is going to be. Can you imagine living like that?
Yeah.
I know, I do, all the time.
That would be hard.
It is tough. It is tough. Because you feel so deeply, and it's crazy making.
Yeah.
It's crazy making. You might think, what did I do? What's going on? What happened? I know I'm not crazy. I know that this person is upset. And then, as an empath, it's really hard to unplug yourself from that. That's what makes it so tough. You might be thinking about it and thinking about it.
Are there any tools or tips that you can share and how to unplug from it?
First thing, don't take it personally. It's a tough one to say, but I really mean that. Don't take it personally. Let it go and fill yourself with light and fill the other person with light. That's another thing you can do too. Just fill them with light. And then watch the pattern. Because if you are dealing with somebody who's constantly doing this and you get a weirder feeling about it, maybe they're a personality disorder, and that's a whole other show.
That's a whole other show and a whole other ball of wax. And keep in mind that the behavior is also on a huge continuum. So you might find people that are very passive aggressive. And if it's someone that you can X from your life, then ultimately that may be a decision to make. If it's someone that you want, that's a relative or a spouse or, someone that you have to interact closely, then it's important to find a way to better deal with it and to help them. And also, when they don't act in a passive-aggressive way, make sure that you reinforce that behavior. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for being honest with me, whatever it is, whatever your words are.
Well, and that's up there with learning assertiveness skills.
Yeah.
Assert yourself. It's okay. You can do it again in a non-confrontational way.
Right.
Is there anything I can help you with this? Gosh, it looks like, are you upset with me? And they may say, no, well, this is what I'm feeling. And you can start down that road and see where it gets you.
Yeah.
But again, I will always go back to don't personalize it.
Yeah, it's important because it is their stuff. It's not anything that you're bringing to the table or that you're causing to happen. And that's a big thing when dealing with that. Is it me? Is it what I'm doing? And you kind of want to twist yourself into a pretzel to try and change.
You know what I do with my clients? I'll ask them, how did your mother handle this? How did your father handle this? Were they, how were you allowed to express yourself? And because there's a lot of shame behind it.
Behind
passive aggressive. Shame about being able to confront or deal with whatever the question or problem is.
Yes.
There's a lot of shame behind it.
Yeah, there's a lot of shame sometimes when you're not allowed to have feelings, to have a feeling.
You have to have a feeling.
So if I'm angry,
right,
then that can be very shameful, and so I'd rather not say I'm angry. Passive-aggressive people also tend to please a lot, and then they get resentful.
Right.
So if you're...
Very true. That's a good point.
Yeah. And I have a friend who really wants to please a lot, and so because I know that and because I love him so much, then I'll say, no, I'll pick you up this time, and we'll go, and so I'll kind of indirectly, not in a codependent way, but help him not please so much.
You're great at that.
Because I know that it's unconscious, and I know that that's kind of how they were conditioned to be. Yeah. And I don't want to sit and play therapist, although we've talked about it, so why can't I help them a little bit and say, no, I'll bring the cake this time.
Right.
For people who are always offering.
Right.
Yeah.
Great.
So before we forget, because we did not announce it, we are taking callers. We're taking callers every week because, of course, one's reading, and
We're
I
going
love
to do
to sit
readings, and we're going to do, psychological.
So, well, I'll chime in when I can.
You
but
can chime in.
They want to listen to
I
you
know.
read, and I love to observe it because it makes
It's
my
fun.
left brain just explode. I love it
It's
so
so
much.
much fun.
So the number here is 818-570-5085 if you want to call. We do have a caller on the road. Should we take them now, or should we?
Yeah, take them.
Yeah. Okay.
Why not?
Okay. Let's see here if I know how to do this.
We're just starting
I
today
know.
with this.
I'm sorry, and I'm plain engineer.
But she's got an engineer brain, so it works.
Me too. Hello. You are on with Both Sides Now.
Hey, Dr. Shirley. Hey, Kelly. It's JW. How are you?
Hey, John. How are you? Oh, I'm so glad
I'm
you
good.
called.
I'm watching the comments here. We got a lot of great comments coming in, and I think we have Lynn Marie on the line too. She's calling from area code 760-328. If you want to bring her on.
Oh,
Okay, sure. I'm not sure how to
I'd
do
love
that.
to, but I'm not sure how to do that.
Okay.
If she can call on that number, 818-570-5085.
Exactly. 818-570-5085, Lynn. And I see that she said she is calling in, so let's see.
Okay, so I
We
will
can get
check
her on
on
the air.
that. But I'm glad that you called in, and for our longtime listeners to know that it's John is back with us.
Yay,
And
John.
he's working with us.
I'm
and
so happy to be
he's-
back.
Yes, we are
So
so
happy
happy
you're
to
here.
have you. So we feel safe with you.
I love the new studio. You guys are doing great.
Yay.
How's it feel to be back in the saddle?
It feels great.
Good.
It's really fun.
Yeah, we've been wanting to get back for a
Yeah.
while. Yeah, I see that we have kind of like a, what is it, like a nighttime motif behind us? Which
so.
feels
Yeah,
nice.
beautiful.
There you go.
Okay, John, well, thank you so much for calling, and we are going to
Are you going to take that one?
take a call now.
Okay.
Thanks,
Perfect.
John.
All right,
you,
I'll be here
John.
listening.
Bye. Hello. Welcome to Both Sides Now.
Hello. Hello?
Hello?
Hi, would you mind turning down the volume on your computer?
Oh, sorry about that.
Thank you.
Hello?
Hi there. What's your name?
Susie.
Hi, Susie. What's your birth date?
April 2nd, 1960.
Oh, God bless you. Are you calling for to reach out for people that you've lost, or are you calling for a reading? Because you come in as you're very artistic. You've not had an easy life. I can tell you that.
No.
I know.
No, exactly.
I
And it
know.
got harder a
I-
week ago.
Well,
No.
did you lose? Have you lost your mother? Got a woman on that
Yeah,
side.
a long time ago.
Got her on the other side. Golly, and I want to say that, she's been around you though. She's been around. There's a lot of sorrow there, and you have who's got the knee problem? Knee and legs problem?
Me?
Okay. Yeah. Oh, well, you didn't take an easy incarnation in this lifetime. You actually it's a karmic life. Some lives are more karmic than others, meaning that you took an awful lot throughout your life, and it looks like there was some abuse there as well. And I'm going back to childhood, and I'm going back to middle school, and I'm going back to midlife, and I'm going back to almost where we are now. Did your father pass as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like there was a lot of sorrow around both of them, actually. And there's a sister. You have a sister here. Looks like here, and I don't know what her situation with them, but you're not alone.
Did she pass?
No, I don't get that your sister passed. I get that she's here, but there's some connection here. Have you had a hard time connecting with her?
Well, that's a big loss too. She disowned me.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know why. She won't tell me. She won't talk to me. It's right there with the passive aggressive stuff you're talking about.
Oh,
Wow.
Shirley, what can you say to help this gal with that? That's tough. That's a hard one when you have a sibling that when they don't talk. I wonder if there's more of a personality disorder when they just walk off.
Well, there may be some hurt, and maybe they have a hard time being, we were talking passive aggressive, being honest and sharing what the hurts were. So to give you an opportunity to either own them and or defend yourself or state your side of how you saw what happened.
She won't let me.
Yeah.
What is
She
her
cuts me
birth date?
completely off.
What is her birth date?
May 15th, 1961.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah, she's very rigid. She comes in rigid. And some people are more rigid, and you really come in to express yourself. I would encourage you to if you can, to get really grounded. Start letting go of a lot of things. It's like you're moving through a cycle, and I would start to let go of a lot of things that are no longer, like anger, depression. I think you've got some depression around. Are you able to walk?
Yeah. I
Okay.
can walk.
I would, make sure you go out, breathe. It's like you're going through, I feel like there's a tunnel you're going through right now, not a death tunnel.
It's like it never ends.
I know.
That's my big question is, when is it going to end?
Well,
I can't handle much more.
Things start to get a little better around April. I would encourage you to there's a great book out there. I mean, gratitude is one thing, and I know that there's been a lot of pain around you. I'm hearing that there's also you have grandparents on the other side that were I want to say bring a lot of magic to the party here. And I'm hearing that are you an artist, or do you do something with music?
No, I don't do anything with music. I'm more animal or orientated.
Okay, then have your lovely animals around, and hold them, love them. You'll see a lot of change starts to come in this year for you. Probably, I want to say around April. Okay.
Have you heard anything from my cat that just passed?
Oh, it's a male cat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, he's around you. And I'm getting like a K or something around. What is his name?
Wasabi.
Wasabi. Isn't that funny? I'm hearing the name Kimba. I don't know what that is, but I'm hearing the name Kimba. If there's a Kimba out there. Wasabi, how fabulous.
That's so funny.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, he's around you. And he's bringing you a lot of comfort. I know that this cat was everything to you because I'm watching that. And I want to say that I think you're going to get another cat, and I'm not sure if that's because you find one or if there's one on that somehow comes to you.
I found one.
Oh, you did. Okay, good. What is the one your new one's name then?
I renamed him Marshmallow.
Wasabi and marshmallow.
By the way, I love the food references there, don't you? Former chef. I love that. Wasabi and marshmallow. I think marshmallow's going to bring you a lot of joy, honey. I think marshmallows is the one.
Try to, if you have someone that you can talk to, don't isolate when you feel like this. Use your support system. And if you're not in therapy, I might suggest going to therapy or have someone that you can talk to.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to a hospice pet grieving.
Oh, that's the best.
Oh,
I'm going to tell you, losing a pet is the worst.
Yeah.
It's a killer.
Yeah.
It really
It
is.
is a killer.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Because they only give you joy. I mean, with humans, there might be it's a mixed bag.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag. Boy, is that the truth. But
with pets, they just love you. So how can it not be something? Just,
you get so attached.
painful?
Yeah. But Wasabi is around. He's around you. Okay.
Thank you for calling in.
Love Marshmallow. I'm hearing love Marshmallow. Give him a chance, he says. He says, give him a chance.
I will.
And that's literally what he says. He's pushing me. And he's talking about a red bowl around you, a red bowl. Give him a chance.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him to eat. He won't eat.
Okay. Well, he will. He will. Just keep loving him.
Yeah.
Okay?
I will.
You're going to get as attached to him as any of them. Will you wait?
I know I will. I
You
get
will.
real attached to
Yeah,
my
you'll have to
animals.
send us a picture of him.
Yeah, put it on our Facebook page. That
Yeah.
would be wonderful.
Okay, I will do that.
All right. Thank you for
Thanks
calling.
so much for calling. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for taking it.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
It's true. People get very, very attached to their animals because they're usually so easy to love,
They
and,
are,
And
yeah.
it's just unconditional everything. Oh, I thought I was
We
going to die when both
have-
my dogs died.
I know.
Oh, it's the
I know,
worst.
That was awful.
Okay.
I have
Mm-hmm.
someone calling.
Okay. I'm just so thrilled you can do this.
I know. Hello. Welcome to Both Sides Now.
Hello,
Hello there. What's your name?
it's me. It's Lynn Kelly.
It's
Lynn.
Lynn. I should have known when I
Hi.
felt Jeffrey's presence around. I
Oh my
literally
goodness, his
started
presence,
to his presence.
has been really strong.
I'm
He's
telling
had
you,
me on a roller coaster.
This guy he loves television. He should have been a star. I mean, this guy loves life. I mean, I have never seen anybody love life like this entity that comes through. It's unbelievable.
Kelly, he goes a lot of places with you, any place that you allow him to go, and wherever he went when he was with me, he put on the Jeffrey Show. So he's still putting it on, and I'm still receiving it. And life is a roller coaster, but it's a happy one.
It's a happy
that's
one.
great.
Oh, he's happy to hear you say that. He smokes cigars and he loves life. He loves. I want to go back to that Native American. I want to go back to the Native American. This man is something else. Did you sell that painting or did you keep it? He's talking about.
Oh my God, I hated it, but now I can't part with it.
You can't part with it. You can't. Yeah.
No, not after you.
This Native
not after
American
you,
came right through.
Lifted veil.
Yeah.
So explain to our other listeners
what happened is she called in for a reading. I was doing a reading for her, and all of a sudden this Native American pulls up. I mean, literally in my my third eye, I see this picture of a Native American, literally a picture of a Native American. And I said, "Look, Jeffrey wants you to keep this. Whatever this means, I don't know if it's where is it." And she said, she fell off the stool. It was pretty funny.
So it was a painting that you have at home, Lynn, that you wanted to get rid of?
Well, it's really quite a story. You could do a whole show on it, Shirley and Kelly. So I'm so happy to tell it. It was at the end of the reading that you gave me, Kelly. And it was a long reading, and almost not saying it. It was that much at the end. You said there's something about Indian art or an Indian, and I said, oh, we don't collect Indian art. I have no idea what you mean. And it was only after I got off the phone with you and then wrote to you and said, I thought, I can't believe this. That
happens
picture
a lot.
of an American Indian, that painting that's in the garage because I've never liked it, but Jeffrey picked it out, so I couldn't get rid of it. And then I thought, it's in the garage. It's dusty. It's dirty. So I dragged it in, and then I sent you pictures of it.
It's a great
and
story.
that's just what you had.
It's
that's just what had come to you.
what I had
And I
said.
only thought, thank God I didn't throw it out, because
so funny.
I don't know what I would have done if I had.
Well, it's really funny.
And
On the other
it's
side.
cleaned up and hanging on the wall.
I'm
of
so
course,
happy
and
to hear that.
it-
I'm
it
so
plays
happy.
Prominence.
I'm so happy to hear
That's
that.
so funny.
People on the other side, if they've had a special connection with an art piece or something, they like you to keep it. They like you to keep it.
Really?
Yeah, depending
That's
on the psyche of the person.
Yeah.
But your husband is
well,
something
yeah.
else, and we appreciate
But-
him.
I think he was trying to, at that point there was the attempt that he was making, to prove.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
To me.
That's
Don't you think?
exactly right. Absolutely. And that's what the souls do on the other side. They, want to give us information that will prove that it is them, calling out. And I wanted to thank you, Lynn, for the subject for passive aggressive. How has that affected you, people around you being passive aggressive?
Lots of ways. Shirley's helped me so tremendously, because now at least I have more information, I have more knowledge, so I know what the heck it is, because I didn't used to know what it was. I had no idea. I just thought, this is dreadful. It's making my skin crawl. It's making me angry. I could, murder these people, but I didn't have an explanation, this is actually something tangible, not tangible, but, sort of tangible. I know what it is. And it happens to me very often, with people, I sense this, unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know, you know what I mean? I sense a lot about people as they walk in the room.
Well, because you're an empath. You're a classic
someone who I'm
empath.
dealing with in business, and that makes me really angry, because they're not doing their job very well if they're being that way with me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And Shirley, I can't really accept. I have to work on myself on this, but I can't accept that it isn't intentional, because it's just so nasty and mean. And I haven't gotten myself. I've been gentle in trying to have them, sort of leading them toward behaving themselves. I haven't gotten that far, which I think I'm going to do when I meet the next one, is to say, is there a problem? Have I done something to offend you? I haven't said that. I've been more subtle, and they don't respond to subtlety whatsoever.
They don't.
Yes,
even though they're very subtle in their aggressiveness, they don't respond to being subtle. So it needs to be not in a confrontive way, but it needs to, it seems like you're upset with me. Yeah. Can we talk about that? Or something like that, a little bit more direct. But also, if the person insists on saying, no, everything's fine, then it gives you or the recipient an opportunity to practice setting boundaries. Sometimes that's why people show up in our lives, to give us the opportunity to practice something that's very difficult for us to do. And setting boundaries with someone like that, someone who's passive aggressive, is really important to do.
It's empowering, Lynn.
Yeah.
Try it once, and then you'll be looking for the next victim.
Yeah, it is.
So,
for
get
example,
better on it. At it.
Yeah,
it will be very empowering.
It's a muscle.
I mean, just knowing now, there's a name for it, and being able to, recognize it and spot it. That has helped. So thank you, Shirley.
You're welcome.
You've helped me already in what you wrote
glad.
to me. I thought, oh my goodness, I've come to a much better understanding, and so I'm going on from there. I don't feel like I'm just stuck with once in a while, meeting someone like this, or even there's even a family member that I had. I never understood why. What would drive me crazy with this girl was that I like to sort of feel like I'm building a relationship with someone. That even if it's difficult, if I've gone from A to B, that I'm really at B, and I'm not going to go back to negative one.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And I think that's sometimes they're passive aggressive too. It's maybe a different kind of passive aggressive, but I would just feel like, I've worked very hard, and I'm getting to know this person. There's some familiarity, there's some liking between us, and now we can build on that, and then we have another experience together, go somewhere or talk to each other, now I feel like I'm insane because she's acting as if that never happened.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So
I don't know if that's another kind of passive aggressive.
Well, it's on a continuum.
All I know,
it's on a continuum.
These are things that just I feel them so strongly, so they drive me. They drive me mad. They take all my energy.
So
I try not to get angry, but it's hard not to.
When you're noticing that reaction, which is what we talked about, when you're noticing kind of a strong reaction in you, then it's important to sit back for a moment and be curious. Curiosity is the antidote to judgment. So be curious. Wow, why am I reacting so strongly? What just happened? And take a moment to kind of really be curious about what your reaction, the why of your reaction, and that might help you shed a little bit of light into what just happened with the interaction, and what, in this case with passive aggressive, what felt inauthentic about the interaction, and how to approach it with them.
And if you're feeling something, Lynn, it's happening.
Yeah.
Just trust that.
Yeah. So listen, thank you so much for calling, Lynn. We really appreciate it. We have somebody else that we're going to take on, but thanks, Lynn. We love you.
We love you.
Thank you. I'm so honored that you took my subject, and thank you so much, both of you. I love you.
Love you too. Bye bye. Hi there. Welcome to Both Sides Now.
Hello.
Hello there. What's your name?
My name is Sasha.
Hi, Sasha. I love that name. Sasha, what's your birth date?
November 12, 1987.
Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Miami, Florida.
Oh, nice.
Wow. Well, thanks for calling in.
Yeah.
So, are you calling for a bit of a reading, or are you calling because you've lost somebody? Because you've got a mind that doesn't shut down. Are you writing a book? You should be writing.
I've been writing poems.
Okay, well, that counts. You've got to use something with that brain because you've got a brain that. Do you have a lot of anxiety, or are you okay?
Yeah, it's just I recently went through like a breakup,
Okay.
and it's one of those relationships that kind of brought out a lot of, I guess, I just, it kind of makes you realize like your flaws, you know?
Okay.
It's kind of those things where I came out of the relationship thinking, okay, I have a lot to work on, and I don't want to repeat that.
Okay,
So-
name one of them. Tell us
Yeah.
one of them. That's a great place to be,
so you
by the
guys were
way. It's a great place to be.
Yeah. So
Doesn't feel like it right now. We get that. But
We've all been there.
yeah.
So, you guys were talking about how passive aggressiveness can be when, as a child, you weren't really allowed to express anger.
Yes.
And I definitely feel that when I get upset, I hold it in instead of expressing it, and I tend to withdraw. You know, so then it kind of becomes like a silent treatment thing, but I'm not trying to do it on purpose. I'm just trying to withdraw so that I'm not kind of lashing out in the moment.
If you could lash out,
Right.
what would you say?
I think I would just probably speak in anger.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't want to say something that's too insulting or something that I would regret, basically.
Right. So do you let the person know that you're processing what just happened and that you need a little bit of time in order to have a conversation about it? Or do you just kind of isolate?
I've tried to be better about that, to let them know, hey, I just need some time. Like, communication is not one of my strong points, but that is something that I realized about myself. Hey, I kind of need some time to withdraw. But in this particular relationship, this person was kind of like, he liked to talk a lot, so he needed to like have the constant communication. Like, he needed to know what was going on. Like, he was kind of impatient.
So this is where the Stuart Smalley over-communicating piece can be very helpful, because I find that when I work with couples, that dynamic happens quite a bit. So the person who wants to talk feels kind of abandoned if you isolate, and that's what causes them to keep pushing towards you, and which doesn't give you the time to process what just happened, how you're feeling about it, and how you want to respond to it. So you're really stopping yourself from reacting, which is a good thing for the relationship. So you need to just over-communicate. Listen, I'm really sorry. I know you need to talk about it. We will talk about it. I just need some time to process my feelings so I can share with you what I'm feeling. So just over-communicate that and let them know that it's not that you don't want to talk about it, that you appreciate that they want to talk about it. And certainly once you've processed it and you know, start to understand what's going on, then you come back and talk about it. Don't kind of throw it under the rug and not talk about it at all.
And Sasha, one of the things I want to mention here is that you have to be around somebody who's very kind to you, because you are in your mind a lot. You have a brain that has a brain of its own almost. And so because of that, you need somebody that is kind. Kindness is huge for you. I don't even know if you would even recognize that's somebody that's kind. But kindness, the next one, when you decide to look, you know, go in for some therapy, go in to learn everything you can about yourself. You're fascinating. Write your poetry. Breakups are great for that. They just are. You know, but know that you didn't come into this life to be alone. You came in to learn everything you could really about yourself. And this goes for everybody. Pick people that are kind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and you have every right to take time to, you know, to figure out what's going on. And if the person can't understand it, I'd be curious about that.
Oh,
You
totally.
know, what is it about me needing to take a little bit of time to process, you know, causes you to be so opposed to it, as an example, you know? So be curious about why that person has a problem, letting you take that time. Unfortunately, we have to go. But please reach out to our Facebook page. We've got
Instagram,
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff that I don't even understand. And if you have a topic that you want us to talk about, please talk to us about that. And if you have any additional questions, Sasha, please reach out to us. We're really sorry, but we have to go now. But I would really suggest that you reach out and find a therapist that you can talk to about this.
But I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
You did great.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling, Sasha. You did great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right,
Thank
honey.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So
Wow.
thank you to everyone
Yes.
in our new home. They're
Our new
really
house.
strict about time because someone else needs to come in and use the time at 1 o'clock in 10 minutes. So we want to thank you for listening.
Thank you. That was so much fun.
I
And
know.
really, hook up with us. I don't think you're supposed to say that, hook up. What are you
Hook
supposed
up.
to say?
You know, I thought hookup meant sex, but to the kids it means making out.
I don't know what it means. All I know is I think you're supposed to say, check us out on
Like us or
Facebook.
follow
Like
us.
us, follow us on Facebook. I'm Kelly
It's not
White,
that kind of
spiritual
a
medium
show.
Kelly White. This is Dr. Shirley and Pellizzeri.
Yes, so please reach out to us if you have a topic you want to
Mm-hmm.
talk about, if you have a comment, if you girls suck this time, we're fine. Bring it on.
She does not personalize anything.
No, I don't.
She really doesn't.
We really want to know. We really do. So please give us a call. Our call-in number is 818-570-5085.
And look forward to seeing you next
For-
Monday at noon,
Yes.
Pacific Coast time.
Yes. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Oh, I have to.
You're the out one, yeah.
You've been listening to Both Sides Now, featuring the unconventional duo Dr. Shirley and Kelly White. Two perspectives, one world.